In this video, I will show you how I use these images to create this manipulation. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Alright, now if you want to recreate this whole composition, you can find all these images in the description of the video. The speed of the video is 4 times faster than normal speed, so if you want to see the original speed, you can go to the settings and change those to 0.25. As you can see here, before I started off cutting out these images, I extended this rope on this photo of this girl. So I want to make sure this rope was going outside of the frame. And here you can see, after I cut out this lion, I just used the crown stamp tool to get this edge really good, because it looked a little bit weird with those edges. So when you cut out animals, you can use the crown stamp tool to get it right. After that, I imported this branch here, this tree branch, and usually when I search for stuff like tree branches or leaves or rocks, stuff like that, just use Google and add PNG after it, so you don't have to waste time on cutting out all these little things, because it saves a lot of time, and cutting out things is not a fun part of the job. At this point in the process, I was happy with the composition, and I started off with getting the lighting right. So before I use any of these dodge and burn tools, I always use curves first, so I make them dark. And as you can see, this yellow dot on the left side, that's where I want my lighting to come from. So I start off with making shadows on the right side of this lion. She already had lighting on the left side of this photo, so I want to make sure the lighting was on the left side and not on the right side or something. So basically I just brushing these areas lighter on the left side and making the dark on the right side just by using curves. And as always, I lighten up the eyes. And now I started off with brushing the fur of this lion. This lion has a really kind of white fur, kind of blonde white fur, and I want to make sure that the lighting was reflecting on it. So I use the dodge tool here. I always use like 50% gray layer, and after that I select the dodge tool and do some dodge and burn. And as you can see here, I used even a fur brush to get little details like in the reflection. I remember it was 2 years ago when I first started cutting out animals, and they didn't look so right, so the fur looked really weird and stuff. So I started off with using different types of brushes, different types of fur brushes, and now I still use them. And I want to make sure everyone has these brushes. We'll make sure I'll put the link in the description so you can also download these and just import in Photoshop and use them. Once you imported these brushes in Photoshop, you can just double click on them and they are in your brush settings. So you can use the dodge tool and select these fur brushes to use as a dodge tool. Here you can see I started with doing the burn tool. So I create a new layer and again fill it with 50% gray and start off with doing the highlights. So I usually start around 30% to 50%. This one has a really light color. The fur is really light, so I use around 30-20% of the highlight. And just if you want to know what kind of areas you need to brush, just look at the darker spots of this line here, and you can see these darker areas. I just make them even darker with using the burn tool and starting off with highlights. After that I do midtones and do after that shadows. So this looked okay to me. I was satisfied with this. I did some little corrections here with the curves, and it was time to add a background. Well, first the foreground, and it's a little bit weird, but most of the time I spent on creating this is on finding images that fit in a composition that look right together. So I spent a couple of hours on trying to find like this image, this grass here. I couldn't find a good grass, so I spent a couple of hours on just trying out different types of images of grass, and I came back to this one. I used this one in, I think, my previous edit. I also used this grass, so instead of continuing with searching for new images, I just used this one and it looked fine. And after that, you can see I started off with adding shadows to this. And to make this grass like in front of this line, you can just use the grass brush from Photoshop. You can just make a mask on your line, and with the black brush you can make like these little grasses going up. And when you're drawing shadows, just drop the opacity and throw really low, around 10 or 20%, so you can do it a couple of times and see how it looks. And now it was time to add a background. And again, for this one I tried, I think, even more than 30 different backgrounds, because I couldn't find the right one. It still looked a little bit weird, and you still need to have the right perspective on it, and you can just use anything. It needs to look right, and especially the colors also are really important to this one. I wanted to make this composition like a little bit of happy, so I used something with clouds in it. And as you can see here, I started off with adding the dodge tool again. This time I want to make more reflections on this girl, so I started off with creating a 50% gray layer again and select the dodge tool. And with the dodge tool I was lighting up these areas of her. I want to make sure this left side of her was even lighter than it was, because when you use the dodge tool and blur tool, you can make like this effect, like it's a little bit softer or something. I don't know how you explain it, but it looks more softer than the original photo. So I woke up at 6 a.m. and I started with creating this. I actually started with creating around, I think, 8 a.m. and just 2 hours I spent on finding these photos to use. And as you can see right above the screen, it's 11 in the morning, and I just spent like 6 hours only to get to this point. And the whole video of this creation is only 30 minutes without the speed up version. So the original one is 30 minutes and maybe 15 extra minutes just to cut out these images. So as you can see, the most time creating this is just to find right images, and I was finished around 2 p.m. So I spent 8 hours on this, and actually designing was only 30 minutes. And here you can see I started with creating light effects. So usually I just create a little dot and move it to the place where I want my lighting to be, and change the blend modes here, and duplicating all those layers and changing the blend modes from soft light or overlay, whatever works best. And after that, it was time to add little details like these butterflies here, just copying those and changing the perspective a little bit so they don't look the same. At this point, it was time to create some more depth in this image. Usually I just use Google and search for instance here, I search for leaves. I just search for leaves PNG on Google, and you don't always have to use images that are really high quality, because I just add Gaussian blur to them, so they're like really close to the camera, and when you blur them out, you create some depth in this whole composition. So you don't always have to use leaves. You can also use like tree branches, or if you have a composition with rocks in them, you could use like little pieces of rock and put them underneath the composition and really close to the camera and add some blur to them, and you create some nice depth in the whole composition. Now when you put like these little things in front of the camera, you want to make sure they blend in better than the original photo. So what I usually do is I just add some hue saturation to them and drop the saturation and slightly edit the color a little bit. And here you can see I changed the background of this whole composition, because I found this other background and I think this one looks really better with this fur of this line, and it's like one nice color and it fits better together. So try out different backgrounds, try a lot of different backgrounds. You will never be satisfied with your first one if you try out other ones, and you will notice that sometimes other backgrounds work a lot better than the first one. And here you can see I just add this gradient fill, and this is what I usually do to lighten up the center point of this image. So I just make these surroundings darker and move this around, and here I just change the scale of it. So I want to make sure it isn't too much, but it still is visible. And as you can see here, I move it to the left where the lighting is. So we have lighting on the left side. You want to make sure this circle starts from the left side, and change the scale of it so it fits to this image. And don't use black, I use here dark green color, because we have like this green leaves and this grass around it. So I want to make sure this is dark green. When you use this gradient fill with a color around it, so dark green here, don't use normal blend mode, change blend mode to soft light or overlay. That's different on every photo, and try to drop the opacity of it because it's too much when you use 100%. So try around 50 or less. And here I do some curves to get this lighting really popping out. And when I change the curves here from RGB to red, I just make like these darker tones a little bit different in color. So you want to make sure you change those settings here and move this curve on the left side around to the right just a little bit to get the colors right. And after that you can do some color balance to get all these colors right. So try to get like natural colors, and here you can see I just add a little bit of yellow and red to it, and usually I just play around with the settings until I get something that I like. So this is what you should do on the end of your composition. When you're done with everything, you just add these adjustment layers on top of everything. And what I usually do to get some extra effect to it, I use Lightroom. So I just export the file as a PNG file and open that up in Lightroom. And usually I add my own presets to them. I have a couple of presets that I use and that I apply to almost all my edits. They work really well. So sometimes I use presets when images don't blend so well together. I just add a preset and it directly changes the whole image. So I will link these presets in the description of the video if you want to get these. But in this video, I just did it without presets. I want to try something different this time. And as you can see here, I just play around with the settings a little bit and get a little bit better color than the original one. So I hope this video is understandable for you, and the best way to learn things is to just try it out yourself. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Make sure to check out one of these videos if you want to learn more about Photoshop and editing. And until then, see you in the next video.